Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Member for Kilifi North.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And first, I would like to congratulate you on your election as our Deputy Speaker. Congratulations and all the best in your new role. You have served this Parliament very well, especially when in the Committee of Delegation, and we saw your ability and commitment to work for the people of Kenya, a trait which I'm sure you will pick up and use it in your new role as you lead this Parliament. Madam Speaker, I'm happy this afternoon to thank first the people of Kilifi North for giving me a second opportunity to lead them and also to represent them in this House. And therefore, I would like to thank them for electing me despite the fact that I came from a very hostile party environment, but God was there and here we are. Thirdly, I would like to congratulate and to note with thanks the speech of the President, that the President spoke with passion, he spoke with commitment, and he also spoke with the heart of a man that is ready to take the challenge of leading this country to the next level. Madam Speaker, if you note the President's speech, he reiterated that this country and this democracy has come of age, and that he noted that for the first time we have 6 more women elected in this Parliament, meaning therefore we have increased the number of women elected, and that gives us confidence that women leadership is on the rise. Exhibited even more, we now again having a Deputy Speaker in this Parliament that's a woman, and I think that reiterates what the President is looking at, and personally I look forward to having more women leaders come into this Parliament so that we can look at the gender gap and bridge it. Madam Speaker, if you look at the elections again, as noted by the President, this time we had 39 counties that voted for the President. 39 counties, up from 34. What does that mean? This country is becoming more tolerant. Our democracy is becoming more mature. Our democracy is becoming, is taking shape, that we can vote in this country, not on the basis of our ethnicity, but on the basis of the ideas, on the basis of a national agenda. And people can cast their vote, can cast their vote on the basis of an agenda that has been put on the table. And the agenda that made people vote in this country was on the economic agenda. Everybody felt the economy was going down. Everybody understood we had to have a better idea on the economy. Every voter knew that it was the economy that was hurting most of us, and therefore they went to the vote and voted for one William Samoei Ruto because he had a better economic agenda than the other party. And therefore, I would like to tell Kenyans that however tough the economic times are, but we have better days ahead. These are just pangs that someone feels when giving birth, but we are looking at a better Kenya in terms of go to where Safaricom and other players were together, and he talked about the Fuliza. Today you saw him at the NSE talking about how to make the NSE, the National Stock Exchange, available to everybody. He is a president who is keen on serving the country and changing the economic fortunes of this country. Madam Speaker, this country cannot move forward unless and until we are accountable to the resources that are given to us. This Parliament must put its foot down to look at accountability. We have had hemorrhage of resources. This country has lost a lot of money in the past regime through corruption, through dubious projects, through projects that were being done not for the purpose of serving this country, but for the purpose of serving other people's pockets. We had the KEMSAs, we have roads in this country that are being built at a cost that is so astronomical that even baffles the engineers who designed them. Because somebody sitting at a table says, although the engineers tells him this road will cost us 10 million, but somebody says, no, make it 30 million. And that's the kind of wage bill, that's the kind of amount of money that we have had to spend that is unnecessary. And that's why I support the president when we say we can comfortably cut the budget of this country by 300 billion. We can comfortably do that. Because a lot of the projects that have been done in the past regimes have had exorbitant costs to it, costs that are necessary, costs that are being put not because the engineer said that is actually the right cost, but because somebody said we want to make money on this and therefore add the cost. And therefore, I want to tell Kenyans that this parliament, and I want to tell parliament, this parliament must stand. Even those of us who are in government, those who call ourselves in government, those in Kenya Kwanza, we must stand to hold this government accountable for every cent that we give it, so that Kenyans can have value for money, for the money that they have given us to budget for. Madam Speaker, one of the things that I would like to speak about, and which the President touched on, is about having confidence in our institutions, our independent institutions, IEBC, the judiciary. Immediately after the court ruling, people started lambasting the judiciary just because they lost a case, and you want to make the whole world know that we have the worst judiciary in this country. What about those international businessmen who are looking at coming into this country because they have confidence in the judiciary in this country? Time has come when you lose a case, dust your coat and go home and say, I have lost fairly, and you go, instead of lambasting the judiciary. And the judiciary now has had a bad name just because one person lost a petition. The IEBC has been vilified just because somebody lost an election. Fellow members of parliament, I would like us to build confidence in our institutions. That's the only way to take the democracy of this country forward. And it is one of the things that the president noted. But more important, Madam Speaker, I would like to say that this country needs to come together. This country needs to come together. This election has pulled the ends of this country. But it is time that we brought this country together, and this parliament, this 13th parliament, could be the organ that will bring this country together. And it is one of the things that the president talked about. Fellow members, it is time that we preached peace, we preached cohesion, we preached togetherness, we preached unity. We brought this country together again so that the divide or the chaos that has been brought about because of an election, we end it, bring this country together, we start working together as a nation, and we build a country that is cohesive. That is the only way we can take this country together. But as I congratulate you, Madam Speaker, and Speaker Wetangula, I also want to thank Kenya Kwanza Brigade, and also to thank the President for giving, for the first time, an opportunity to have a Speaker of the Senate that is from the coast. And this is something that I would like to say is commendable, and the people of the coast know that for the first time, this government has taken care of their interests. But as we move forward, there are things that must be taken care of. The issue of water, especially in Kilifi and in Ganze constituency, I would like the President to keep his promise that he will build dams there, big dams, to ensure that the people of Kilifi do not die again of hunger. I would also like to say that the question of landlessness or squatters at the coast needs to be brought to an end in this government. Madam Speaker, as I wind up my speech, I would like to ask fellow members of Parliament, as we move together in the 13th Parliament, let's move on a bipartisan agenda, on a bipartisan approach, so that we can heal this country, and this country moves forward, and God bless Kenya. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Member for Naivasha.